I want to talk about um, capitalism and socialism for a little bit. Um, I'm essentially some kind of lifelong socialist. My father's a socialist. My oldest brother's a socialist. As a compassionate person who believes that greed is basically evil, I've always had a critique of capitalism, but also like I'm a student of history and philosophy and economics, and so I've studied my history, and I know that a lot of really smart, probably good-hearted people have aligned themselves with the word capitalism. And today I want to just talk about one component of capitalism that I don't know if it's like a innate quality of reality, like a natural law or something, or if it's a man-made thing. But I think it's pretty real effect. And so, in the effort of seeing reality as it is and not trying not to filter everything through lens of ideology, but just see reality for what it is and let ideology flow from reality, not the other way around. So, even though I am a socialist because of the context and the time and the place that I'm in, I believe it is the proper um, ideology to promote balance in the world. I do think that there are capitalist things that are also valuable. And one of the things that capitalism works off of is an idea that somehow through delayed reward, an individual is able to create more wealth than if they were to constantly need to reward themselves for the work that they do. So the idea that a person would be able to tighten their belt while continuing to contribute the same amount, and if they're able to contribute an impressive amount of things while also not asking for much in return for a long time, that type of banking, it's a way of banking actually. It's what you're doing is you're banking skill and effort of your people, and they are willingly saying, I'm willing to not get the rewards yet. And what this allows you to do is stuff like build a castle or build a longhouse. If everybody's willing to say, you know what, I don't need to eat as much this week, and we'll have some of the hunters stay back and help us like build up our fort for the winter or something. You can easily see how this idea of like, if you have members of your tribe who are willing to contribute and don't need to be rewarded right away, there are sort of like better long-term benefits to be had. And this does play into one of humans' biggest allies, and also sometimes when it's humans versus humans, it's a drawback if you can't do this. It's called long-term thinking. And so banking requires long-term thinking, and this idea that there's some kind of interest or kickback reward for being able to invest your time and energy or capital into something and not need to see the results of that right away because you know it takes time to play out. And so that, I mean, it's essentially how banking works. And we can't take away the fact that like banking works. Like it's good. It creates a safety net. Um, but that's, as a socialist, I'd just interject and then say, yeah, all of that, I want all of that in a marketplace, and I want there to be kickbacks for people who are willing to tighten their belt and keep contributing. Um, but that there's got to be some limit on wealth, and and um, and that some basic needs have to be met for everyone, and that basic opportunities to contribute are met for everyone. So um, I want to be friends with everyone who calls himself a capitalist or allies with the word capitalist. I also can ally myself with that word. I see all the benefits of capitalism. I call myself a socialist because basically I believe that there's certain like reforms or like guardrails that need to be in place around capitalism in order to make it prosperous rather than um, decadent and rotten to the core.